Welcome to the Area 111. This is your instructor here. I guess I'm a kind of like an amateur to Microsoft Flight Simulator myself, but I'm going to be flying a Cessna 152. You see it here in my hangar, hopefully, and be flying from. Of course, this is going to be recorded. You won't see it live, but I'm recording it and sharing it to YouTube. So this is my personal hangar. So when you sign into Microsoft Flight Simulator, you can pick basically what aircraft you want to fly and put it in your hangar, and that's basically where you start out at, or what plane you start out with, whatever helicopter, seaplane, whatever. But I haven't been able to store more than one airplane in the hangar. There's probably a way to do that, but I haven't figured it out yet. But instead of before I get this video way too long, I'm going to try to keep it about 20 minutes. From Bartow, Florida airport to Lakeland, Linder airport, it's a very short flight. So I just want to do it really quick. I did another flight previously. It's about 25-minute long video you can watch on YouTube. Basically, Microsoft Flight Simulator, a flight from Bartow, Florida airport to North Tampa airport. That was like 25 minutes long. So that was a out of cockpit view, and this will be a in cockpit view. Okay, so which is a little bit harder in my opinion, at least what I'm used to. Remember, I'm flying from using a game controller, and it's kind of difficult using a game controller or whatever to use the actual instruments and the yoke inside the aircraft. It's not very realistic. I mean, in real life it would be easier in my opinion, and it's harder to see the displays, the instruments inside, but I'll do the best I can. I landed successfully with a few bounces, and I'm going to try to smooth that out this time. So that said, let's get going here. I'm in the profile hangar. Go to the welcome screen, right? Go to this is how you start off when you want to pick a place to fly from. Okay, so I'm going to world map, and then I'm gonna zoom in over Florida, and see Lakeland there, Lakeland, Florida there. You can't see it that good now, but there it is, Lakeland, Florida. And Bartow is to the east of Lakeland. That's Lakeland, Linder. Okay, so let me click on the Bartow airport. Let's see here. Zoom out. You just go here. You can actually type it in also as well. Bartow Muni right here, I believe it is. It's already in my history. Okay, going to select arrival. Now this is where I will scroll out and go to Lakeland. Just click on Lakeland, Linder, right? Hopefully I won't have a problem with the connection. I mean, I have broadband, high speed, but there's Winter Haven. So of course Lakeland is should be on north. That's Winter Haven. Let's see here. Lakeland here. Zoom in. Find Lakeland Linder. Oh man. Let me just type it in here. Hold on a second. Go to search bar here. The reason why you do a little bit, click enter, Lakeland Linder, regional, right here. Now Lakeland Linder has a new mission now for Amazon Heavies, and I think Oceanic has a mission there. So we're gonna hit fly. Go ahead. Okay. Let's go ahead and hit fly. Should show up on the runway now. Loading. Yeah, so they extended the runway for Amazon Heavies. That's kind of interesting. Place. They have Draken. It's a military or DoD contractor. They refurbish like a Mirage aircraft and that kind of thing. There was kind of like a controversy, I call it anyways, because they a radar guided missile with a live warhead actually showed up there in a shipping container. From at the beginning when I heard this, they basically said that no one claimed it, but I'm pretty sure it belonged to Draken, but it was in a shipping container. But the same type of radar guided missile showed up in Italy, and it was Ukrainian, supposedly Nazis, that were basically arrested for bringing in that radar guided missile into Italy. But anyways, it's the same one, same missile. You can do a Google search, Lakeland Linder Airport live warhead, air to air radar guided missile showed up, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and hit fly. You see the tutorial there. It says disengage parking brake. Let me go ahead and do that. We're about to take off now. The reason why I'm trying to basically get through this, because I want to make that like shorter videos as much as possible. Now I'm gonna have to organize my displays here a little bit better. I don't like the way they're set up right now. So I'm gonna switch the displays here real quick because I want to get the GPS like heads up display where I can see it. Okay, I got the RPM's up a little bit too high. I want to still climb, get a little bit altitude here, switch back to the cockpit when I have that accomplished. Watch your airspeed because you don't want to stall, obviously. Now switch back displays to the so if you keep the you see the cockpit dashboard, I call it, you keep it kind of like at line with the horizon. You won't gain altitude or you won't lose altitude. So if you lose altitude, you point the nose down. Obviously you're going to go faster. So this, like I said, this is a tutorial. People are probably, they come in here, they're experts and their pilots are rolling their eyes at me. But one thing I haven't figured out, okay, so we're at 1,000 feet. You see kind of like in the middle of the screen of the instruments, right? That dial is moving up. It's at 1,000 going on 200 feet right now, altimeter. Okay, so everything's fine. This is a very short flight. I won't climb the altitude. I think it says 10 miles. So I mean, it's not really necessary to fly that high. I just have to stay on course. And when you're landing, of course, you put your flaps down. On the control stick, it's the wheel pad, the down arrow button that basically puts your flaps down. It basically helps you lower airspeed and stabilizes the aircraft. And to me, this is a lot harder with a control pad, whatever, a gamer control pad versus the yoke itself. Once you get training on an aircraft like a Cessna with the yoke, you get used to the yoke and everything, the rudder controls and all that stuff. I'll show you the rudder controls. I'll switch back and forth. It's right trigger to go right, obviously left trigger to go left. And then you could do basically both at the same time. You basically guide your thumb controller wheel to the left or right. So I'm leaving Bartow airspace. So now I'm on the Tampa approach frequency. So this would be a navigator's job, like if you have a assistant pilot with you, they can handle all that stuff and you can concentrate on flying the aircraft, right? That's really great to have a partner doing that. Let me go back, as I did say I would land with a cockpit view. So, you know, you can really stabilize this aircraft pretty good. So we only have 7. The only reason why I'm looking at the airspeed, right? And it's so a lot easier to view the airspeed than it is in the cockpit. Now the airspeed, you'll see it the instrument panel, the display on the top left. Okay. You know, the dashboard, whatever, look at the top left and you'll see the arrow there. It's about 100 knots, so I guess I could view it here. I'm seeing the displays a little bit better than I was earlier. Now, when this records and it goes over and saves over on YouTube, it takes a while before it's totally we call that resolution is kind of poor. I have to go and check the settings. Right now it's probably lower resolution to keep from having large files, right? So anyways, 8 miles, 5 miles, I think it is, 6 miles, whatever it is. Well, it says to retract flaps. Yeah, you hit the up thumb wheel button or arrow. So I don't know if I like this approach. You can see the runway from here. You see that white line, right? That's the runway. So I want to come in where, hold on a second, let me start lowering the speed. Left tracking. Okay, so that's where I was heading anyways. So that's the traffic pattern. They fly you in this, they direct you to the traffic pattern because you have sometimes departures and arrivals. So obviously I'm coming in as an arrival and you don't want to crash into a departure. So they'll set you in on, put you on a approach, what do you call it, vectors, whatever, and you just follow that. Obviously you can see that from the air, but start to get my aircraft where the speed is lower. Remember the top left instrument on your dashboard, that's the your instrument panel. That's your speed. We're still going at about 100 knots. I want to get that down probably to around 80. Not a little bit lower. Making sure I don't lower the speed where it's too low and stall. You want the RPMs up there high enough where it doesn't basically stall the engine. Last time I did this, that didn't show up. I just flew right into the airport and I landed. Maybe because there's multiple runways on this. North Tampa Airport, it has a shorter runway. It's mainly for private, smaller aircraft, or maybe even like Learjets or something like that, you know. So I'm saying I'm too fast, right? But I do not want to stall this aircraft. Or I have the flaps up right now, or down, I should say. So to be very careful that you don't stall the aircraft. Still says it's too fast. I can land just perfect. Really at this speed. Reduce speed to 552 knots. Okay. Okay, I'll try to do that. Put the flaps down again. Sometimes you want to check the other display also to see, okay, the flaps are down. Okay, cool. You know, the technology of even cars now, you can have your like display. What do you call that? You can see the underneath your car. You can see above your car. You can see obviously in front of you, behind you. You know. And this is kind of like a display. I would imagine, I haven't been in an aircraft in quite some time other than a simulator, but I imagine they have HUDs and they have all kinds of stuff where it makes your flying a lot easier now. You know, GPS and gives you guidance and all that stuff. It just like your nav system in your cars or your trucks, right? So Still saying I'm going too fast. The reason why it's saying that is because I am peeling off the altitude, because I don't want to come in like too crazy. Okay, I'm going to switch back to the cockpit. Clear to run, land, okay. So again, flaps are down. Okay, I just did them another notch. So I'm just verifying that my settings are the way I put them at, so I'm not too low altitude, but it says I'm too fast, and that's fine because I'm not too fast, right? I'm like at 60 knots versus like 52 or whatever they wanted me to. The perfect speed. Now when you turn your aircraft, it basically lowers your speed, so you have to really be careful when you're turning and you have your flaps all the way down. You stabilize the descent. Okay. Still says I'm too fast, which is correct because I'm descending. Okay, my RPMs are good. Wow. Just cleared that. Okay, here we go. Now I'm feeling a little bit better. I see the runway, right? Of course you can move around like that with your, but I like to keep looking forward and not to the side, especially when you're landing. See what I'm saying? As far as your landing goes, your speed, you got to be very careful on approach when you're landing, not to drop your airspeed, your RPMs down too low, because you will stall and crash right before the runway. Now I don't have the wind turned off or anything like that. I don't know what the winds are. I haven't done that, so you'll see me bouncing around a little bit landing here. And right before you touch down, you have to pick up your, basically, the front end, the nose. You have to pick up the nose, right? So I'm going to basically shut down the throttle. Whoa. Okay, now hit the brakes. That wasn't a bad landing, but you know, there's probably about 7 or 8 mile an hour or knots wind, whatever. So this is getting me to, let me taxi in. That's the taxi. So taxiing in, that's cool. So I'm taxiing. Like I said, this is come on now, stop. I got the brake fully pressed down. That's what, you know, problem is with a controller and you're online. You know, live you're not having those problems, right? Got my airspeed down. Taxiing, go. Got to pick up the airspeed again to taxi to the hangar, I guess. So I hope you like this video. I mean, like I said, I'm still an amateur at this Microsoft stuff. There's people a lot better than myself. I have flown jet aircraft, like Learjet type, smaller aircraft, like commercial type aircraft, but not so well, obviously. You're flying by yourself, right? And you're, come on. Gotta get this thing under control here. It's crazy how. So like I said, they actually extended this runway of I'm at Lakeland, Linder, just landed, I'm taxiing, right? And come on now. So get me doing, hopefully I'm just taxiing. I don't want to basically get on the runway for departure again. That does that sometimes in this game, so but I've basically done what I was supposed to do. Obviously, if I knew, let me just try to go park it. Okay, so like you normally do, so that's not going to take that much longer. You know, this is kind of cool though. You know, it's like, come on, hold your horses now. Come on, I got my thumb fully pressed on the brake as hard as I could. You know, you would hear that brake like the wheels chirping, like if I hit that brake or the nose would like point forward or whatever. Let's see here. Bring the flaps up. Good, I didn't round that curve like that fast and run into that other plane. That's basically parked. Well, this is kind of neat, right? So, I'm gonna run over this guy standing here, or guys. This is crazy, you know, I hit the brake all the way. They should not have basically shut down the motor speed or whatever, but now I gotta get this back up again so I can roll and park where they want me to, right? Come on. There we go. Let me just creep along here. Hopefully I'll find this interesting. Be really neat if people locally would see this video, because I'm not too far from Bartow. About 45 minutes to an hour from Tampa. Closer to Bartow. That's Polk County, in case people didn't know. Okay, now, right, they're gonna ask me to shut down. Am I shut down? Am I on the right spot, or need to pull up a little bit further? Let me go a little bit further. Pick up the airspeed. Okay, that's it. The light went off, so I'm parked exactly where they want me to park at. Now I can shut down the aircraft. Use right button. And now inside the aircraft you would go, okay, you turn down, but there's a battery controls or whatever. There's like a parking brake, of course, the parking brake. I can put it on. Okay, there's the battery. I don't know where the battery's at on. I can't remember. Basically, alternator on. You can turn that off. Okay. Let's see here. Thought the battery was... That's the communications. Now let me see if I can hold on this. Yeah, I can move that out of the way. That's really a problem for me. Throttle button right here, right? Pitch, trim, landing lights. Let me see here. See that's your speed gauge right there. Altitude indicator. Okay, that's altitude. I thought that was altitude indicator. Oh well. I can't see those very well, those instruments. There's your direction. You're flying your compass. That, I guess, if you're flying level, you can see if you're flying level. That's mostly used in IMC instrumental. When you're flying basically instruments at night or whatever. Because obviously in the daytime you can see if you're flying level if you have good visibility, especially if you're in a bunch of clouds and that kind of very poor visibility, of course you won't be able to see. So the alternator's off. Definitely want to turn off the battery. Can't remember where that's at. Oh, it was down here, right here. Here we go. Off. See how that did? It was shut down, right? And I wish I could just get out. Let's go to continue, see what's going on here. Radio off. Okay, the radio's off because I actually turned the battery off. The alternator's off. The parking brake set, of course, the throttle's down. So that concludes this this tutorial. Hopefully it helps, and the more I do this, of course, the more experience I get and the better the landings are. That was kind of a rough landing, I do admit that, but I didn't have no bounce like I did on the landing at North Tampa. But anyways, with that said, thank you. We're gonna shut down this live stream now. Recording. Catch y'all later.